Hi, welcome back. Let's do this exercise together that is based on various types and clauses of a sentence. Number one, a subject and a verb that cannot stand alone is called simple sentence, independent clause, dependent clause, or complex sentence. So over here, he says that there is a subject and there is a verb. It means if there is a subject and there is a verb which or that cannot stand alone, which is totally dependent or totally it is going to trust or depend on other clauses or other factors, so that particular subject and verb based part of the sentence will be called dependent clause. So in this case, this one is correct answer. So he says a subject and a verb that cannot stand alone. So it's a clause that is always going to be dependent on an independent clause. So this clause is going to be called dependent clause. Sometime we may call it if clause as well. Now sentence number 2, since we had only gone a mile from camp, we could turn back before dark. So over here, out of the white bus, a white bus is an acronym. So over here, S stands for since. So this S last one, since we had only gone a mile from camp, we could turn back before dark. So one clause, that is we could turn back before dark, this is independent clause, but the since oriented or the clause that starts with since we had only gone a mile from camp, this tells that this is not independent over here. So independent clause, this last one is independent, we could turn back before dark, and since we had only gone a mile from camp, this is dependent clause. So over here, since is a subordinating conjunction. So this subordination shows that this clause is dependent one. So the options are a simple sentence, a compound sentence, or complex sentence, and a dependent clause. One thing is to be mentioned over here, that a sentence that is a combination of one independent and one dependent clause, that is going to be called a complex sentence. So in this case, we have got the second one is independent clause, but the first one that is being driven by this particular conjunction, that is subordinated conjunction, that is since we had only gone a mile from camp, so this is an dependent clause. So one dependent clause followed by an independent clause, that is to be called a complex sentence. Number 3, I know you don't like him, but that doesn't matter. So over here, I know you don't like him, this is an independent clause. This one is I know you don't like him, but that doesn't matter. So this but is a conjunction that connects this particular independent clause with a dependent clause, that but that doesn't matter. So this is dependent on this, and over here but is there, that shows subordination. So again, it is a complex sentence. Now sentence number 4, while the dinner was being served, Sana sneaked in through the side door. So again, over here we are going to employ that acronym, that is a white bus. So over here, W is being employed, this subordinated conjunction, that is W, that is representing while the dinner was being served. So this particular part of the sentence or clause is called if clause or dependent clause, this one. And Sana sneaked in through the side door. So Sana managed to come into the hall or the dining place from the side door. So while is representing that this is the clause that is subordinated clause. Why we call it subordination, subordinated clause or if clause or dependent clause? Because W out of a white bus, that represents while, and this is a subordinated conjunction. So this subordination is used, that is why this is a dependent clause. So once there is independent, that one is Sana sneaked in through the side door. So this one is an independent clause. So one independent clause preceded by a while driven or an if clause, that is a combination of a simple sentence, an independent clause, a compound sentence, a complex sentence. So once again, it is an example of a complex sentence. Now sentence number 5, the last one. Those clouds promise snow. We might get another snow day off from school. So those clouds promise snow. Over here we can see that this is a clause that is an independent one. We might get another snow day off from school. So again over here, this we might get another snow day off from school. So this is totally dependent on the independent clause. So it becomes connected by a semicolon. Again, it is an example of a complex sentence. So the right option will be not a simple sentence, not a compound sentence, not a phrase. And it is going to be a complex sentence. Why? Those clouds promise snow, and that snow, due to that snow, we might get another snow day off from school. Hope the concept gets clarified.